subcommittee. There's a request via the Streets and Walkways subcommittee, where there was a question about this earlier this week, to clarify the communication around the delay that happened to the removal of the car parking around St Arthur's Street. Town Clerk, do you have any details from the other companies as to what they are to go straight to Jackie?
I think you've been talking to my colleague who's part of Streets and Walkways, so yes.
Jackie, do you want to give us?
Yes, of course. This project is being managed by Department of Built Environment. And I have to say, I think they have done an excellent job of communicating with residents. A number of meetings, there's been, I've got some examples of here of some of the things they've sent out and posted. There was an issue which arose at the end of July, which delayed the project. We in Housing were informed about that on the 31st of July. At that point it was unclear what exactly the issues were and what was going to be done about it. But what was clear is that there was a delay. And my view was, because actually residents were already being asked to move their cars, change it, my view was, regardless of what was going on and how we were going to resolve it, the residents needed to know immediately. So I sent a letter to all residents on the 1st of August. So as soon as I knew, a letter went out to all residents on the estate, letting them know that the project was delayed. I couldn't tell them any more than that because I simply didn't have any more information. All three departments involved, particularly the Department of Built Environment and the Chamberlain's Department, worked very hard to get everything addressed very quickly. And it was all addressed, and I was given confirmation of that, I think on the 25th of August, and the following day, whichever it was, the following day a letter went out from me telling residents that the issue had been resolved and giving them a new start date for that project. It is not for me to try and tell people about what has happened with other departments. But as far as we were concerned, the important thing was we let them know when the project was delayed. We let them know again when the new date for the project was. Within days of my letter, the project manager from Department of Built Environment produced an extremely detailed, several-page newsletter on the project, which went to every home on Middlesex Street. I'm not sure what more we could have done, to be honest. And I know the project manager. In fact, I saw a draft just yesterday of the next newsletter he plans to bring out within a few days. We have done our very best, and the departments have all worked very closely together to do this. I'm not sure what else I can say, really.
Chairman, just again to echo Jackie's point, I think clearly was cited at the point in July, the 1st of August. My take on this is that as public servants, the transparency of officers in terms of how we deal with residents is important to our values. It was actually the right call in terms of really sharing the information that we had on the first with residents. It was actually fundamentally right that we actually told them, going back to what Jackie said, in terms of the slight delay and a reassurance that we as officers were going to resolve these. And I cannot see what else officers could have actually done. What is fundamentally wrong, frankly, is actually for us to keep information away from residents. I think the judgment was actually the right judgment. And if we were to actually have something similar again, I can actually reassure you, Chairman, that I will be asking my officers to do the same. Thank you, Chairman.
Does it answer the question?
Well, I mean, the stories are quite different, aren't they? You and the Deputy Chairman were in the same meeting as I was, and the angst that came from a resident of Middlesex Street Estate was quite contrary to this. So I really don't know what else. I mean, there appeared to us as well not only lack of communication between housing and tenants, but in fact poor communication between different departments. of this organisation. And I thought that was a matter of considerable concern. As I say, the stories are quite different, so I don't know what to make of that, but I'm encouraged by what the director tells me that will be our policy in future, that we will ensure that information is given in a timely manner.
I think I wasn't at the streets and walkways issue. What I have known about this issue, I think my take on it would be, yes, I think it's a valid point about communication between departments. I think what we would deny is more communication between this department and this department.
Chairman, could I comment on that? It was brought to light that there was a problem, and it was a communication problem from departments. This department actually did a very good job of getting information out, and actually took a lot of flack. And I was on the receiving end of quite a lot of it, and it was out of there, but it is back on track, and it is a marvellous thing for Middlesex Street Estate to get these ramps down, and it'll transform the area. So for me, if we wait in another month or 2 months, it's not a problem. So, but once it's done, it will actually transform the estate. And I thank the City of London for actually finding the money to do that, which is no cost to the leaseholders and the residents. Thank you, Chairman.
Just on a more general point, I mean, this thing has gone on for ages and ages, and yet, in fact, the Deputy Chairman and myself of the Grant Committee had, in fact, to sign urgency papers. And, you know, we need to look at this as an organisation as to why, when there's so much preparatory work going on, it still ends up